There was a man named John who married the woman he loved very much. Her name was Janet. Together, they had 6 children and lived in peace and harmony. One day, John met some of his old school friends from high school. They greeted each other warmly and reminisced about old times. Among them was Ken, who invited John to join them at a club for some fun. John declined, saying, "I need to go home and be with my family so they won't worry about me." Ken replied, "We haven't seen each other in years. Why are you doing this? Just call your wife and let her know you'll be home later because of work." To please his friend, John called his wife and lied, saying he would be late. At the club, Ken and the others urged John to dance, but he initially refused, saying he was too tired. Ken teased, "Be a man. Come on." Reluctantly, John started dancing. Ken then introduced John to some girls at the club. When one of the girls showed interest in John, he said, "You know I'm married. I shouldn't be doing this." Ken replied, "It's just a dance, nothing more. Stop behaving like a baby." John eventually gave in and danced with the girl. They also drank together, and by the end of the night, John exchanged contacts with her. A few weeks later, Ken invited John to another outing. At the club, John met the same girl again. This time, things went further, and she became pregnant. When she told John, he was overwhelmed with guilt and worry about how to break the news to his wife. John confided in Ken, who shrugged it off. Ken, who already had 3 wives, said, "It's no big deal. If you don't want your wife to find out right away, just get the girl an apartment for now. Later, you can tell your wife." John disagreed, saying, "This isn't a good idea. If I had known, I wouldn't have followed you to the club that night. Now I've brought problems into my home." Ken laughed and said, "Come on, be a man. I have 3 wives and still enjoy peace of mind. Just let your wife know. If she gives you trouble, you can always spend time with the second one to relax." When John finally confessed to his wife, her heart was broken. She lost trust in him completely. Over time, John married the other woman, but his first wife was devastated. Later, John even stopped caring about his second wife and their children. Instead, he focused on enjoying himself with other women. As John grew older, he realized the consequences of his actions. His children, hurt by his neglect, refused to care for him and focused on their mothers, who had worked hard to support them. One day, John complained to Ken about his troubles. Ken told him, "In life, only have as many children and wives as you can take care of. Your family is your responsibility, not mine." John replied bitterly, "If I had known, I wouldn't have followed you to the club that night. That was the day I ruined everything." In life, not everything your friends do is right for you. What works for one person may not work for another. Always choose what is right and good for yourself, not what others pressure you to do. Be wise. What are your thoughts on this? If you enjoyed the story, please follow, like, and share. Thank you.